Hello everyone. Hello and welcome back to our channel. So myself Esha Goel and I am your physics educator for NEET examination. Only 48 hours are left for your Re-NEET exam and I am sure that all of you must be very nervous and anxious before your exam today, right? You must be feeling that you haven't studied enough or you are not able to remember or recall the formulas which you have studied. But mind it, please keep in mind that you do remember everything. It's a common thing that happens to everyone who is going to write a exam that can actually change their lives. So it's quite common and it's quite okay to feel anxious. But what you need to make sure is that you remain calm and composed during these difficult times, during these times when you will feel a lot of pressure. I would say don't feel that level of pressure. Just keep faith in yourself and go for your exam, right? In our today's video, we will study a strategy that how should you revise and what you should actually revise in the last 48 hours before your re-NEET exam. At this point, your rank will not improve because you learned a new chapter. Your rank will actually improve because you avoid losing marks. Especially you avoid losing marks at those topics, in those topics or at those points where you were capable of scoring. Basically, you need to avoid any silly mistakes, any calculation mistakes, anything that can go wrong and that should haven't gone wrong, right? You just basically need to basically work on that thing, right? And the biggest mistake in the last 48 hours, which most of the students do, is panic studying. They just 2 days or 3 days before the exam, you might study, pull all nighters and keep on studying and studying. You go and watch 8 hours long marathon videos. You start reading new topics. Please don't do that because that won't help you. That will actually increase your anxiety. You know, instead, you should try to complete the chapters that you are not fully confident about. Like there must be some chapters which you are quite confident about. You just need to simply revise the formulas and concepts of those chapters. Will be some chapters which you are not at all confident about. That the moment you see rotational motion, you are like, I won't be able to, like, I haven't studied much of this and I'm not confident, I'll straight away leave it. But I am saying that there will be a middle ground between these two things. There will be some chapters in which you are 50% confident, 50% unsure. You need to just tap on those 50% chapters, those 50% of the concepts. And in the next 2 days, your target should be consolidation. Your target should not be expansion. You don't have to expand your syllabus. You don't have to expand your knowledge. You just have to consolidate. You just have to revise. You just have to memorize and you should be able to recall everything that you have studied within those 3 hours of your exam hall, right? So first of all, the very first thing which you have to do is you have to revise your physics formula notebook. I am sure all of you must have a physics formula notebook ready by now, wherein you will be having the formulas and the short tricks and tips of all the chapters at a single place. First and foremost, you should revise that formula notebook. I am not asking you to revise your in-depth notes. If you have prepared one pager notes, then you can revise them, but not the in-depth notes, which are quite lengthy, right? You just need to remember the formulas, the concepts, and you must have identified some of your mistakes. You need to revise those mistakes that you have already identified. Either you would have identified them from your mock exams or your practice sessions, wherever you have practiced the questions. You need to revise those, right? Then there is a particular order, especially for physics, which you should follow, right? So the order in which you should start the revision, the very first topic from which you should start your revision should be modern physics. Why? Because modern physics has comprises of 4 chapters. I've also included semiconductors along with modern physics. There are 4 chapters. It will give you a sense of accomplishment there that you are already done with 4 chapters and confident. first thing. Second thing, most of the questions are easy and direct from these topics. Third thing, the questions are simply formula based. You just need to remember the formulas. Within modern physics, first you need to revise photoelectric effect. What is photoelectric effect? The Einstein's photoelectric equation. Then Bohr model, nuclear physics and semiconductors. If you've seen my previous video, then you must have seen I revised the entire modern physics within 10 to 12 minutes. So you can check that video out as well. These chapters are highly scoring, predictable and revision friendly. Do make sure that you first revise these topics. Within photoelectric effect, you also need to revise or remember the Einstein's photoelectric equation. The next topic which you should pick up after modern physics should be current electricity. Again, a very scoring, a very easy to revise topic. Within current electricity, you need to revise Ohm's law, combination of resistors, the series and parallel combination. So in series combination, you must remember, you also studied in class 10th that you will simply add the resistances. In parallel combination, you will get the answer from reciprocal. 1 by R will be equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Then KCL and KVL is something which I can't emphasize enough. This is KVL, especially the circuit, is something that will 300% come in your exam. So the most important thing from this chapter is KCL and KVL. Then out of these two devices, most of the times a question comes from potentiometer. Meter bridge questions, because they are comparatively easier like formula based only. So usually potentiometer is a more preferred topic for questions in your competitive exam. So within current electricity, you should, and mind it, I am not talking about that you should, I am not saying that you should leave the other topics, but over here I am just emphasizing on the more important topics which you should revise in any case. Then the third topic should be ray optics. Within ray optics, you should be very clear with sign convention, mirror and lens formula. These two things are the basic things which you also studied in our previous classes. Then, like we have KCL and KVL in current electricity, we have TIR in ray optics. TIR is again something which you will see in your exam. For sure, you will see a question on TIR. TIR basically total internal reflection. You just have a single formula, but that single formula can be implemented in, and it can be implemented in many ways and in many different situations. So DIR, total internal reflection, magnification, and second most important topic of ray optics is optical instrument. Your compound microscope, simple microscope and astronomical telescope. Basic formula based numericals come at times directly from optical instruments. You just need to put the value of focal length of eyepiece and objective, and just need to tick the correct answer for magnification of the objective lens, or compound microscope or simple microscope, right? And within astronomical telescopes, there are two things: normal adjustment and least distance of distinct vision. So these four things are quite important. Now, moving forward, let's talk about the mock tests, that how you need to, revise everything which you have attempted. You don't have to attempt any mock test now, because only 2 days are left. You also need to, calm yourself down, because what happens is, if you, give a mock test just a day before the exam, and by any chance you're not able to score good, then like it hits your motivation, and somewhere in your mind you will keep thinking that the same thing might happen with me in the exam. You don't have to enter that loop, but you do have to make sure that you revise all the mock tests which you have attempted till now. So you must have marked the important questions, or those questions which you were not able to attempt in the first go. You just need to revise those questions, like which you were not able to solve in the first go, or in the some of like some questions are that you are able to solve half the question, but after solving 50% of the question, you are not able to comprehend the other concept which was used in that question. So such partially solved questions, the questions especially for which you take the wrong answers, you need to revise all those questions, right? And make sure that your brain does not feel tired. You have to be ready, your brain has to be ready with the full enthusiasm for your NEET exam, right? You don't have to lose your confidence. I am sure that all of you will do good in your exam, but make sure that your first objective is keeping yourself calm and telling yourself that yes, you can do good in your exam, right? So thank you so much for watching our today's video. See you in the next video.